So it kind of happened pretty quick for me as far as in San Francisco, I got to play with Joe Henderson, Bobby Hutcherson, Stan Getz. I mean, just unbelievable musicians at a young age. And so I decided to not go to music school, stay in San Francisco, go to college out there, but continue to. I felt like I was getting my musical education, my jazz musical education, on stage. And I thought of maybe I should go to New York, go to Juilliard, go to some classical school possibly. But it was also a little different time than it is now. Back then, it wasn't assumed that if you wanted to be a jazz musician, you had to go to jazz school. Now it's kind of, people assume that that's the way it goes. Back then, I didn't feel like I had to do that, and I was learning so much from the musicians I was playing with. So I decided to stay there, finish college. And then a friend of mine, Donnie McCaslin, who was playing with Gary Burton's band, said, yeah, Gary was looking for a bass player, and would I be interested? So I went out to Boston and played with Gary Burton for a year, and that moved me across the country. And then I moved to New York from Boston a year later. So that was 1990, I played with Gary, and in 91, I moved to New York. And then I just went through the whole process of, starting in a new city. I knew quite a few people actually when I moved, but still, it was like just starting from scratch a bit and getting to know people. And one of the great things that happened to me in Boston while playing with Gary, besides playing with Gary, was that I got to play with a lot of great musicians my age for the first. Before in San Francisco, I was playing with a lot of older musicians, but once I started playing with younger musicians, or my age, it was really kind of inspiring in the sense that there's a connection that is automatic because we share the same, musical path. We probably listen to a lot of the same records. We got just on the same wavelength. So making music was really easy and fun and light. And so I met a lot of great musicians that one year I was in Boston who ended up moving to New York, as I did very soon after. Kurt Rosenwinkel, Mark Turner, Jorge Rossi, dozens actually. And so when I moved to New York, there were a lot of people I knew, and then a lot of people I met. And the typical scenario, you play one gig, it turns you on to another gig, and it's very, it's just very natural. And it made, but I gotta say, once I moved to New York, I really kind of rethought a lot of the things that I had been, or I had to think a lot deeper about certain aspects of bass playing that I maybe had only thought about on a quite surface level, just because the level was so high. It made me rethink sound, time, intonation, harmony. I had to continue to step it up because the level was higher, which is that's the great thing about New York. I mean, it pushes you to a place that you probably wouldn't get to unless you were in that environment. So New York was great for that reason. It really pushed me, and I was able to play with people I always had hoped to play with, and also a lot of young musicians like Brad I met very quickly in New York, or Joshua Redman, tons of people that we kind of shared musical idea. We shared a sense of what we hoped music could be, and that we were very compatible, and that the making of the music happened very quickly because we came from the same place or wished to get to the same place. Brad was a good example of that. Playing with him the first time was very natural and easy, and also I think we both saw the potential for it to be something that we could grow with.